Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TinkChat.
Yeah. One thing that Andy and I have been
Talking
doing
about.
talking about for the last couple of weeks is we reviewed the first two episodes and really looking at some of the things that we have been saying. One thing that we realized that we probably should have spent a little bit more time on, maybe even on episode one.
What was design thinking?
Yeah, design thinking, design, applied design, all those areas of why we're doing these series of videos to begin with.
Yes.
So I guess with that, today's video is going to be
About design thinking.
yeah. Why it's important to us, why we're doing it, why we're focusing so much attention on this area for both what the company is doing, as well as what these videos are going to be.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe I think the good way to go and start it is, what does it mean to us? What does design thinking mean to us? Why?
I thought it would be more like what design thinking is.
Well, okay, that works too.
So that they know what design thinking is and why it
matters.
Yeah, why it matters to us.
Yeah. You want me to take a stab at it? I can take a stab at it.
Sure.
Okay. Before I get into that, design thinking for us is a pretty core concept here at Tinkerine. We take it on a day-to-day basis. It's part of our everyday, right? And design thinking for us is a good combination of this engineering side as well as really understanding the users that are using our products, our customers. Is a very user-centric approach to solving a problem and coming up with a solution.
Yeah.
And so, it stems from the world of design. I think the company by the name of IDEO on the States coined the term design thinking. It's a set of processes, and it's kind of a set of a belief that if you approach a problem while having the user at its center, you can come up with really innovative ways to solve a challenge that puts the user right in the center of the solution, right? And so the founders actually all went through design school. We all come from a design background, and when we first set up the company, this notion of design thinking was put right into the middle of what we do.
Yeah.
Right. When we build machines and services and products, it's always about what is the teacher going to do and how are they going to use it? How is it going to impact their workflow? How is it going to impact the students' workflow? What are they going to
What their experience would be when they're actually using our product.
Yeah. And we get to see some of that. Like we've been to schools, you've seen this. Really fascinating stuff, and it helps us reevaluate every single time we go and see one of these.
If we're actually going in the right direction. Or if something's not going in the direction that we want, we go back and we tweak it.
We go back to the design process of iteration, testing, reiteration,
testing.
Yeah, the product for us is never in a finished state. There's no such thing as a finished product that is in its like ultimate form.
Everything has room for improvement.
Yeah. So design thinking is this process that takes the user, puts it in the center. Of how we go and approach a problem to come up with a solution. And it always has room for improvement every single time. But that doesn't mean that we can't get very close to an idea or a solution that we feel is
almost perfect.
And has a 10% room for improvement. We see that here at Tinkerine. We see that in the big world with some of the large companies too, right? If you look at the biggest company in the world, Apple, let's take Apple at that. Design is in the center of their DNA, right? They approach the whole entire solution ecosystem with design. And it comes in the form of both the experience that the customers feel, the product that the customers touch, and from a skills development perspective, I think it's going to be a core skill in 21st century business world.
I think so too.
It's going to be a pretty core thing. I mean, it's not just Apple that's doing it now. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. I'm pretty sure there's someone in even the automotive industry, Tesla, if you want to call it that is their sole job is just looking at the design and how a customer is going to experience their product.
I mean, even in just fast food industries, you can see that already there, right? Because for those fast food industries, they come up with new menu.
Mm-hmm.
They come up with it, and then afterwards they have people come in for taste testing.
Well, I mean,
how they hold the thing,
yeah,
the food,
the packaging,
the packaging, how they open it, how to eat it, what kind of I guess taste goes onto your taste buds. All those things are.
I mean, if you want to look at the overall, even bigger picture, how they order the how they place their order, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole generational shift now. If you really want to put this user in the middle of the equation to solve a problem, there's now those automated menus that you can go and press buttons.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the times that the younger generation wants to experience the service without talking to a person, perhaps.
Yes.
Well, there's that. I mean, and then there's still the existing customer base that still likes to talk to a person. So businesses are always evaluating and changing it. Design thinking puts the people that you're going to be interacting with right in the middle of everything. In product design, for sure, that's definitely a thing. And then also in service, the experience the customer is going to feel. How are they going to feel it?
Yeah.
How are they going to experience it? I know we go out of our ways a lot of the times to make sure that on the service side, we provide the
best experience,
or the ultimate experience, is what we always say. But what does that mean, right? That's really we're really looking at it from a perspective of solving the issue that the customer is dealing with, but solving it from the perspective of design, looking at it from that perspective. So I almost want to say that 21st century, one of the key components of 21st century is design thinking. I mean, in business, in skills development, but it's tied very, very closely with regards to the tools that are available for people to use. Which tool do I pick that best allows me to get my job done?
Yeah.
Right. We focus a lot on the tools for automation in terms of like robotics and 3D printing. That's going to be a big tool in the future for people that are doing manufacturing. For sure, it's going to change how things are done.
Yeah.
Right. And that's only one element of how design thinking is going to start to impact businesses in conjunction with 3D printing. Right. Both are going to be available, and we want to be able to spend enough time on the core thing, which is design thinking, and then start to look at how the tools are going to expand the horizon of what we do.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much sums up why we've really started TinkChat.
Yeah.
Right. Looking at design thinking, how the tools are going to help. In this case, 3D printing.
3D printing, 3D printing a big part.
Yeah.
Which is why we're introducing it to schools right now.
Yeah.
We believe it out. As Eugene said, we believe that it's going to change the course of manufacturing, and it's not just manufacturing, like all these other things, like creative, on the creative side as well, like the food part. You can print any design that you think of, that you can't achieve when you're just using human hands.
Yeah. And this is kind of where we want to take TinkChat is, there's a whole bunch of industries that are being affected by number one, 3D printing and design thinking.
Yeah.
We covered a couple now. We've done wearables, and I think that's it. We've got more to come.
I think mostly wearables. Yeah.
Wearables, and then aviation's being affected by this technology. Food industry is being affected by this technology.
We were wrong. We also covered architect.
That's what it was. We were going to do aviation next.
We're doing aviation next.
Until we realized that we probably should clarify design thinking.
Yeah.
And I mean, a whole bunch of industries being touched by this technology and this new way of thinking about how to solve problems.
Yeah.
That I think if we didn't clarify why we were doing this, there would just be a ton of repetition.
Yeah.
And we want the TinkChat videos to be more about what's happening in this greater picture.
In the real world.
That all these really amazing things are happening, but we don't need to keep repeating. We can just focus on what is happening in the industry. Right? So we'll probably, in the future videos, if we need to refer to Tinkerine's or I guess the design thinking side, we'll just refer to this video.
Yeah, that will work.
Yeah, and for anyone that is wanting to get a bit of a catch up on what it is that design thinking is, there'll be
watch this video.
Yeah.
Well, other than us wanting to clarify what design thinking is, we also, in this episode, we also want to show you or tell you how it's actually being taught in schools right now. especially in elementary school, high schools, post-secondary, all of them. And I think we visited mostly elementary schools so far.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
seeing grade 2, grade 3 students go through the design thinking process is just very interesting.
I mean, I wish I had that experience. I'm a very hands-on type of person.
Yeah.
You know, the learning experience is very different.
It's different.
Right.
Definitely different than just reading your textbook as usual.
You actually get something tangible in your hands.
Yeah.
You can.
You see how it works.
Yeah.
It's just like it's comparable when, like, for example, when we were back in high school, we were studying biology. You're just watching either videos or you're reading your textbook.
Yeah.
But now I know some schools may have the fancy whole diagram. I mean that plastic doll with the stuff.
Right.
But then now with a 3D printer, you can also just create those things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I equate it to, you know, the dissections that you do and how much in learning you get out of physically seeing something.
Yeah.
3D printing now does that for the areas that it touches.
Yes.
Applied design is a big one. Engineering is a huge one. You know, product design, kind of entrepreneurship is definitely folded into that. But it's there the whole way through.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just one little section. It's if you need to test an idea, 3D printing can help. So can sticks and paper.
Yeah.
And that's and I mean and more, right? And understanding the right tool. I mean, CNCs can work as well, but 3D printing allows someone to really quickly and very easily get very complex shapes.
Yeah.
If you have the skill sets to be able to design them.
Yeah. One of our customers actually, not in engineering or any of those bigger, well, not bigger, but she was actually using R3D printers to design her art pieces that she had in her in her gallery afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you can create all these intricate pieces, put them together, different colors, paint them, and everything. So it's not just the engineering architect; it also covers up to like the things that you wouldn't think, like as we talked about food, economic, home ec, arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those things that you probably wouldn't think 3D printing will be touching.
I mean, automation technologies are pretty amazing, right? It changes the fundamental focus from craft, making something, to designing something and having tools make it for you.
Yeah.
So anything that has a touch on that gets fundamentally changed in a way.
Yeah.
Craft is still really cool, really great. It gets you that kind of hands-on experience with tools. I'm going to call it the more traditional tools.
Yeah.
But the shift in time, when you make something, you design something, and you shift it over to a tool to make, you can go back to redesigning a new concept or even thinking about new ways, which you couldn't do before.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and that's why 3D printing is so big. Is that it's an automation technology in a way, and then pair that up with design thinking, all of a sudden you get really, really interesting results that isn't just another box. It's a solution with somebody in mind, and who knows what that could be.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally, if you didn't know something was broken in the house, you can always just create it right at home.
I mean, as a designer, I definitely do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I think as designers, we're in a bit of a luxury space because we have gone through that, training for design thinking, the training for the skill sets for software. But this is not just a skill that's going to be limited to the design industry in the future. I don't think.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
As more businesses really start to look into the skills and the development of the skills.
Yeah.
The critical thinking component, the solution-driven component with users in mind, that's going to be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, every end product has someone using it in the end. Right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to think in this perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think I would want to plant the flag in the ground and just say that it's going to be a critical key skill set.
Yeah.
And 3D printing is here to stay as well.
Yeah.
Like it's a technology that's not going to go away.
Yeah.
And so if it's not going to go away, then it's going to be a critical component on how to create some really complex things, in which the industry is already doing.
Yeah.
but those people in the industry that are doing really amazing, complex things,
Yeah.
they're thinking about design.
Yeah.
They're thinking about how to apply it.
Yeah.
And they're the ones pushing the forefront right now. But that's going to change as more people come with the skill sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we're putting so much emphasis and encouraging teachers and building all these resources for them to actually teach
Right.
design thinking at a young age. So when they come out of school, they actually have that skill set ready to just join the workforce.
Yeah. The good thing is we're doing it, and the schools are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not just within applied design or design thinking. I think it's actually happening across different continents. You know, STEM and STEAM are very close to design
Yeah.
thinking. Even the maker movement side is very close as well, right? But we're looking at really how we can expand beyond a singular concept into something that's much broader.
Yeah.
Right? And for us as a company, doing design thinking on a regular day-to-day basis, yeah, I think that's the element that we really want to focus on to be able to get it out into the world.
Well, I think this wraps up what design thinking is, and hope that clarifies things for everyone.
Yeah, I think in future videos of TinkChat, we're going to be focusing more on what's happening
Yeah.
in the industry, what we're seeing, maybe even some similarities to what schools are doing, really tying it back.
Yeah.
But hopefully we've planted into the ground, why design thinking is so important for us,
Yes.
why we are doing these videos in
Yes.
the first place,
Yes.
right? But I think aviation, the food industry, maybe even the sugar industry or the chocolate industry. I don't really know what the proper name for that is. I mean, that is fascinating. Edible food in complex shapes, right? And so we'll probably be doing way more of that in the future.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching this episode. Remember to subscribe in the button below and
the bell button.
And the bell button, so you'll be notified when a new episode comes out.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, also, if there's any topics in particular you guys want us to cover, any areas in industry you guys want to know more about, leave a comment below. We'll check that out.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching.
Take care.
Bye.